Alright, so we're going to go over how to attach flat bands to a slingshot. And this will apply to just about any slingshot, whether it be a natural or a high-end custom. All flat bands go on pretty much the same. And there are some contentions out there in the world of flat band shooters that it has to be one way versus another. It has been my experience that as long as they're tied on consistently and the same on each side with the same length, it really doesn't matter. But I'm going to show you how I like to do it. So all Flippinout Slingshots come with a logo, a maker's mark that designates the front of the slingshot. Some slingshots do have actual ergonomic elements that give it a handedness and a certain face that the shooter holds. So let's assume that this one had the scallops. So we'd start by placing the face of the slingshot, that which faces the shooter, down on our table. Then we'd take a look at our band set. With band sets, you always want the ammo to be seated in the pouch where the ears, little bits where the bands are tied over, are on the outside when the ammo is grasped. So here we are, we're looking at the back of the band set. So it's important to turn this upside down and lie it in place. Some folks, if they're not using a reference point on the slingshot, will like to mark their bands. That does help with consistency and tying in. We're simply just going to use a reference point on the slingshot. So we've got the band here in place where we want it to go. We've got a groove here we can see that the tie material seats down into. So to start, just taking simply either it could be an office rubber band or just this is a scrap of TheraBand, which is left over from band making. And we just lie it in place. And the first wrap is most important. So bring your first wrap around and lock it in place. Then your consecutive wraps, you want to make sure you stretch the band as you lay it down. And what that does is it causes the band to bind back into itself. And you want at least 3 complete wraps that have been stretched well. We've got our wraps now. To finish it off, the quickest way to do it that I have found is to just simply use your fingers. So I like to hold the bands down with my thumb so they can't go anywhere. And as I begin that next wrap, I'm going to come over the top of my thumb 1 time, 2 times, and on the 3rd pass we're going to take our tag end, we're going to roll our thumb backwards and put the tag end right underneath our thumb, and it's a quick rolling motion. So as this band rolls off the top of my thumb, I'm going to be pulling this tag end underneath it. Like so. And you can take the tag in and free it up. And that is not going to come undone. But it's quite easy to get undone if you need to readjust your bands. Now to do the other side, we still have our band set completely laid out, flat. We want the same orientation. So we can see here, we haven't moved anything. This will be facing up. So we see here, everything looks even. The orientation, the angle of the band going into the pouch is the same on this side as it is on this side. We can see here how this is off. The orientation of the bands are in the same direction when working opposite to one another. So once you've got your band located, it's as simple as tying it on as we did before. One last time up close. Bring our tag in around. Put it under the thumb. Push down on the tag end and pull it under as the bands on top of your thumbnail roll off. And there you have it. Now when you look at your slingshot, the pouch is ready to receive ammo. The ears are on the outside. And you can see there's a trough created by the bands, here and here. What that allows is your bands clear the forks. They cleanly empty the projectile from the pouch. It'll shoot just fine the other way, but this is the way most top shooters prefer to do it in a way that's consistently proven.